Okay, and I'll ask you those
Yeah,
questions. So go ahead and just give your name and sort of your affiliation.
I'm Tony Anderson. I've been working as a volunteer in deployments in Nepal, Rwanda, and Haiti.
Okay, and how did you first become involved with Olpc?
I was in South Africa and visiting a volunteer school that had a computer lab at the elementary school level. Ended up staying there 2 weeks, basically repairing computers. And the thing that struck me was that the children there were getting 30 minutes a week access to the computers. So when I came back to the U.S., the G1 program, the first one was on, and I decided that was really the right way to go, is to have the child have the laptop all the time so they could actually get some real benefit from it. So I decided to get involved.
Cool. And then you've obviously been to an impressive number of countries. Have you found that differences or similarities, or what are the differences and similarities?
Okay, the deployments are wildly different. Somebody asked me one time, aren't all the schools the same? They're not. What you find in Nepal is that the teachers teach the whole class. They have no concept at the primary school level of group work. In Rwanda, from grade 1, the kids are taught by specialists, so they have 40-minute periods, and the first one could be math, the second one could be English, the third one could be Kinyarwanda, and each of these has a specialist teacher that comes to the classroom, so that's sort of different than the American model. In Haiti, they're teaching in French, even though most of the kids don't know French, they in fact know Creole, so language is a big issue in those schools. So, yeah, the schools are quite different, and the challenges offered by the schools are quite different in the different countries.
Could you give just a couple examples of some of the more significant challenges of not every place, but of the ones that really stand out?
Well, the fundamental challenge was made clear to me in Rwanda. The teacher in Rwanda schools, the children go by shifts, so the children come from 7 in the morning until noon, and then a new group comes from noon until 5. But the ones who come in the morning on Monday go in the afternoon on Tuesday, so they swap it around. The morning has 6 40-minute periods, the afternoon has 5. And the teacher said to me that they could use the laptops in that 6th period, meaning they would not use the laptops during the actual curriculum coursework. And so the challenge they were giving is, what can we do with the XO that will provide a better teaching result for them than they're teaching in the conventional way that they normally teach? And so far I haven't seen a clear-cut answer to that question.
What kind of advice would you give, speaking of challenges, for meeting up with, for people new to the field, meeting up with these different challenges?
I would say most of the people we have volunteering to go out to deployments are technical people with a computer background and not with an educational background. And so they know, like I do, hey, I went to school for 12 years, I understand schools. I think they need to really be sensitive to the teacher's perspective, to the environment of the school, and not just assume automatically that they brought an XO and the problem is solved. They really need to be looking at the real situation and figuring out how the XO can in fact be useful.
And then what kind of difference do you think the XO can make, both already and sort of like its promise?
Certainly the long run promise of constructionism, of the kids learning by working together, the kids learning by exploring projects and goals is absolutely right, and I embrace it entirely. The reality, however, is that the teachers have to teach the kids certain things in certain time frames, and they're being monitored by the administration to see that they stay on this schedule. And so we have to find a way to get the XO used in that mainstream part of the educational, in order to get the opportunity to use the XO for the things we really know it needs to be used for.
And then sort of on that, what kind of misconceptions do you think people have that aren't really familiar with the XO? And what would you say to sort of correct that, or give a more pure view?
Okay, the number one misconception is that in most schools they have computer labs, and computer labs are expected to be a place where students sign up to go to learn about computers. So they don't understand that an XO is actually a tool to help the student learn English or math or science or the other subjects, and not something that's an object of study for itself. That's easily the number one misconception. The other one you frequently run into is that it's just a toy. It's not a real computer.
Yeah, and then what, imagine I'm asking you a question that you'd want to answer, or this is basically just an opportunity to sort of add what you'd like to add.
I think the XO has a great opportunity to be have an important role in the educational community. I think what people are forgetting is that we're introducing a technology into a new industry, and I've been involved in my career in that many cases. And what people have to remember is that when you introduce a computer into a new industry, the people there are going to want the computer to do what they're exactly doing with pencil and paper currently. And if we're going to be successful in introducing the XO into education, we have to adapt to that reality, try to have the XO be the textbook replacement, really offer the content that's currently on the textbook, and really work from a pencil and paper base, and not focus, as we tend to do, on the really ultra technology, using videos and so on, because the teachers don't understand what's happening here. The introduction of the computer to the education industry is going to be a difficult task.
Cool. Excellent.